What is going on, everybody? So today we're going to be talking about prismatic evolutions because the bundles, the Costco bundles, have officially dropped. Some stores now have these. You can go pick them up. They're $57.99 USD for one ETB and one bundle. And then the 2-pack, 2 ETB, 2 bundle is apparently just an online exclusive, limited to one per day. This is all courtesy of PokeBeach, and that's $122. But before we get into that and talk about prismatic, I first want to show you guys a couple Sun and Moon boxes. So in the spreadsheet today, I did update the Sun and Moon booster boxes and Scarlet and Violet booster boxes. The S Viera, nothing too interesting was going on this week. I think most boxes are in a healthy range right now, so we're not going to see any crazy movement on those in the short term. But Sun and Moon, interestingly, every couple weeks they are starting to move. So Ultra Prism was selling at over $1,300 average. I think there was like 6 or 8 boxes that sold over the past 14 days. And that was a little bit up from the last time I looked at, which I think it was around like $1,250, $1,275, something along those lines. Team Up, last time I looked at it, it was around $6,000 average box price. This time around, the past 14 days, there were a lot of sales too. I think there was like 12 or something, 8 to 12 for a lot of these tag team sets. And it was $6,400 almost average sale price on a Team Up box. Unbroken Bonds, Unified Minds, both of these were around like the $1,800-ish range. So both of these are getting close to that $2,000 price point. And it's kind of crazy. If you look at a lot of these boxes like Team Up, you could have bought this box for $2,500 last year in the summer, and now it's what, $6,200, $6,400, something like that. Like pretty impressive returns. Cosmic Eclipse, though, I think this is probably the biggest one. This is selling for about $2,300, $2,400 on average over the past couple weeks on the secondary market. And you could have bought this for like $850, $900 this time last year. So you've almost tripled your money on Cosmic Eclipse booster boxes in a 12-month period when it was already at like 5x MSRP. And as crazy as that sounds, it does seem like people are moving back in time and picking up some of these older sets as sets like Prismatic Evolutions start to get printed into the ground. Obviously, the Costco bundle, this is going to be the first one. This is the online one, by the way, the 2-pack. PokeyBeach had a link to it, and if you sign in, I'm sure you can see the price and everything. On the in-person ones, you can go pick those up as well. Now, if you guys don't have a Costco near you and you can only get product online, you're trying to snipe some MSRP pricing or below that, look no further than today's video sponsor, PokeyNotify. PokeyNotify is a Discord notification group offering you the fastest notifications on restocks, drops, and deals on Pokemon product. They cover all the main regions of the world: North America, Europe, Australia. They also cover all the main websites: Pokemon Center, your Walmarts, your Targets, everything in between. They are the main reason I was so successful earlier this year getting 151 and Prismatic Evolutions. That's why I have so many ETBs that I got at MSRP. $7.99 a month. You can cancel at any time. You can also get a 3-day free trial to hop in there and see what it's all about. And if you want to get a subscription after, you can use the code PROFIT25 for 25% off your first month. So thank you so much to PokeyNotify for sponsoring the video. And to segue out of that, if you guys do have a subscription to PokeyNotify or you are using a notification service to try and snipe deals, this was big, right? Like this is going to be big once this online one comes out, and you can try and grab a couple of these. Obviously, if you're trying to build massive positions in the thousands of units, this isn't going to be a feasible method. You're more than likely only going to have a day or two, I would imagine, before these sell out. I could be wrong. These could be up for much longer. Maybe there's a lot more supply than I imagine there's going to be. And I do think that this is going to affect the price of the ETBs, but I also think part of this is already caked into the current market price we see on TCG Player. Before these Costco bundles were announced, we were sitting around $120, $121. Now we're sitting around $110. Sometimes we're even seeing sales as low as like $99, I think $100 here on a fairly regular basis every day at this point. So I think a lot of this anticipation for the prismatic bundles has been caked in, but I would not be surprised once people start getting these in hand. If we do see the price go lower, maybe it drops into the 80s, 90s, who knows? But the point I'm trying to get at in this video is that people are going to be making a mistake waiting for MSRP on Prismatic, thinking that in the future there's going to be better entry points. I think this is going to be one of the best entry points you get on Prismatic. And there could be a future where Prismatic goes even lower. It could get to MSRP. There's multiple years more than likely that this product's going to be printed, but It's such a great set, guys. I mean, how long was Evolving Skies at MSRP for? Even 151, when we were in a lull in the hobby, that wasn't at MSRP for that long before it started to creep up into the 70, 80-ish dollar range for ETBs. And obviously there is going to be a difference in terms of your ROI if you buy at $60 versus buying at $80 versus buying at $100. But in a few years, when this ETB is $200, $250, like where 151 is right now, are you really going to care if you bought at $60 versus $80 versus $100? And that hypothetical also implies that we are accepting it gets to MSRP. There's a very likely chance that we never see prismatic evolutions get that low. Pokemon could try their best and get it down there, and maybe that does happen. But like I said, with Evolving Skies, with 151, with Hidden Fates way back when, there are sets that just do not get to MSRP or don't spend a lot of time there, and maybe they only get back there once shortly after release when we do get a wave 2 or that first initial reprint that comes. And I've been telling most people that ask me what they should do, I recommend that you just continue to buy prismatic and you dollar cost average over time. Plan it out so you have money to spend maybe over the next 18 to 24 months in case there are better entry points, and just be happy with buying a little bit at each 3 to 6 month interval or whenever there's a deal, and just accept that that is going to be your position. And you also don't have to just buy the ETBs. You could also go for the booster bundles. I think these are going to come down in price, especially because they are part of those Costco 2-pack and 4-pack bundles. Also, these are products that we have seen get restocked at Walmart, not just in US, but also in Canada. Shout out to PokeyNotify. I got a lot of 151 booster bundles over the past 6 months from Walmart. So this is a product that I would imagine we're going to see restocks eventually in the future on those platforms. But that is also why I recommend getting at least some exposure to the ETBs just in case they don't get reprinted and they kind of fly away like the 151 ETBs did. So that's all I'm gonna say about sealed product. In terms of the sealed cards, I still think you should hold off buying the singles and even slabs for prismatic. I think once a lot of this product hits the market and it gets opened and people grade their cards, we're going to see a lot of these prices continue to come down. I would not be surprised if the Umbreon's eventually under $1,000, could even hit like 800, 700. Who knows where the bottom's going to be on a lot of these. I don't think we're close on a lot of them though, especially some of these less desirable SIRs, the Iron Valiant, Goldango, Iron Crown, Sandy Shocks, Iron Hands. I think a lot of these middle tier SIRs are going to drop the most still. But even the top cards, I do think there is a ways to go before we see them bottom out. And we're still in a fairly hype period in the hobby. It's not like 2023 where we kind of knew where the bottom was, at least in terms of popularity and demand for a lot of those alternate art cards. And once we see that bottom, or at least there's some sort of consensus in the community that we're close to the bottom, I think that's where you're going to see a lot of these SIRs start to rebound again, similar to what we saw with the alternate art cards in around May and June of last year. But you guys let me know in the comments down below what you think. Also, one more thing I wanted to say in this video, because I forgot to mention this, Dragon Majesty, I did talk about this a couple times and I just remembered it because of the Sun and Moon stuff. This is currently being bought out on eBay North America. If you come in here and you look at all of these solds, there have been a lot of them. This is sorted by lowest listed, but if we go by ended recently, you can see here on May 30th, there were a lot of boxes purchased at 700, 653, 700, 700, and then the day before at 600 and 580. So someone bought out all of those cheaper boxes and now is kind of artificially pushed the price up to around $700. So I forgot to mention that. But the last thing, go check out PokeyNotify. I'll leave it in the description down below and also in the pinned comment. Stay safe wherever you guys are in the world, and I'll catch you in the next one.